Hi, it's Dr. C. I'm here with a okay, that was my dog. I'm here with a short post to discuss the issue of cancel culture, which is something that I am completely and utterly against. Just before I start, my dog wants to come into the room. 1 second. Please, come here. Let's get you. Let people see you. Because you are still. Jeez, you're still a puppy, aren't you? Still a pup. You're like 28 kilograms, puppy, but you're still a puppy. Oh, okay, right, that's good. Down you go. Okay, right, so. Yeah. Okay, there is no need to fight me. She's lovely. How could I not love her? Yeah, okay, your head down the side there as well. No, do not bite my headphones. Right, okay, so let's get back to it. Right, okay, and I don't know how well this post is going to go. Every time anybody talks about anything to do with wokeness and cancel culture, it always seems like you're walking on eggshells of winding people up. So if you kind of like this, then please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell so that you get notifications. I'd like to start with a comment about wokeness. And let's have a look at this. Woke. Alert to injustice in society, especially racism. Basically, there are different ways that you can define it, but that is fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being alert to injustice in society and all of the isms. That's absolutely fine. We should be open to looking for those, and we should be ready to challenge them where we meet them. But if we think that freedom of speech is important, we should not be shutting people down. If somebody has got freaky ideas, actually, I want to hear them. Because if you allow freedom of speech, that means you allow yourself to be upset. You allow yourself to be challenged. You allow yourself to hear things that you don't necessarily want to hear. But I'd rather hear those things so that I can then challenge those ideas. The Olympics are on at the moment, and the Olympics are a good thing. And you would imagine that the Olympics, with all of the amazing reasons why the Olympics are so good, surely the concept of cancel culture cannot be at work in the Olympics. But if you felt that, you'd be wrong. The director of the opening ceremony was fired just before the event. The Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony director fired over a Holocaust joke in 1998 comedy act. Now, okay, I'm not sure that making a joke over the Holocaust is a wise thing. There are certain subjects that it's best to stay away from when it comes to things like humour. Although, having said that, some comedians seem to be able to discuss anything and get away with it, and it is not clear why or how they do this. As an example, take Ricky Gervais. Life's too short. And one of the scenarios was Liam Neeson actually coming to Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant to discuss the fact that actually he sort of wanted to make a change slightly in his career, and he wanted to do improv comedy. And I'm just going to play you a short clip.
Again, I just wouldn't name them, and also I just think AIDS is, as I said before, just a really heavy subject for comedy.
Okay. Good and bad cancer.
Yeah, cancer though, and AIDS and famine are just not really subjects for comedy.
Well, how does he get away with it now?
We don't know.
No one's going to believe me as a greengrocer.
We could change your accent. Lots of accents do that.
Well, he doesn't. How does he get away with it?
Again, we don't know.
So sometimes people can get away with it, and it's not quite sure why. If you want to watch Life's Too Short, then do so and watch the outtakes for that particular scene, because all four of the actors there found it very difficult to keep a straight face. Anyway, let's get back to the director of the opening ceremony. The day before the opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics, the show's director had been fired over a Holocaust joke he made during a comedy routine 23 years earlier. Kentaro Kobayashi has been axed from his post after a clip of his 1998 act surfaced on social media that included the phrase, "Let's play Holocaust." Okay, so we look back to 1998 and now we crucify him for it. So God forbid that we're allowed to make a mistake or we do something that people think is not nice, and later on in your life you'll pay the price. Thanks to social media, because of course social media seems to rule at the moment. Okay, let's look at another one. This guy is Kaigo Oyamada, and he is the musical director of the opening ceremony. He was forced to step down because in an interview that he did in 1994, he admitted to bullying classmates when he was a child. So because he reflected on his previous life and some of the sort of negative things that he had kind of done and was open to discussing them, somebody decided to look back that far, find this, drag it up and think, okay, that is a reason why now you're going to get crucified. But it's not just the opening ceremony that got hit. This guy is Hiroshi Sasaki, and he is the creative director of the Olympics. He was forced to resign because he once made a fat joke in a private conversation. Now, I'm not saying, of course, that fat shaming is correct in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think anybody's saying that. But in this day and age, we cannot make a mistake. You cannot put a foot wrong, and somebody will drag you down and grind you into the ground. It becomes a feeding frenzy, particularly on things like Twitter, which is a ridiculously toxic place. Okay, so what's the point of all this? The point of this is, I think we need to try and stop cancel culture. We need to allow people to make mistakes. We need to allow people freedom of speech to say things that might offend us. We need to be able to challenge those views. If you don't allow people freedom of speech, you will never have the ability to challenge them. If you don't allow people freedom of speech so they can give their wacky ideas that are frankly ridiculous, you will never have the opportunity to stop them from doing stupid things. Freedom of speech is incredibly important. It's one of the ways that we have of stopping crazy ideas. And we must not shut down freedom of speech. It's really important. And I think that people need to be allowed to make mistakes. They need to reflect. They need to view them in a positive way with other people giving them advice and all those kind of things. And they need to be able to say, I'm sorry, and move on. And we must not take the position that we're going to screw them now because of it. This is unacceptable. We need to fight against this kind of culture because it is not good for society. And when you start crucifying people because they make a mistake or they say the wrong thing, you will shut down creativity. You will stop people from trying, because why should they bother? If they get it wrong, if they say the wrong thing, society will destroy them. We must stop this. It is really important. That's my kind of thought for the day, if you like. We need to be more patient with people, and we need to help them. Everybody needs to help everybody to try and do the best that we can. And we need to have the freedom to make mistakes. So if you like this video, again, share, subscribe, like, ring the bell, all that kind of jazz. And take care until next time. See you.